Hello everybody, welcome to the Go language course. In this video, I'm going to discuss the use of strings in Go language. Before I discuss strings in Go language, I have to include the main package on the first line of the program. Also, I have to import the fmt package at the beginning so that I'm able to use the printline function coming from this package. Okay. Now let us start the discussion of strings. So we can define a string as follows. We use var and then I give a name of a string variable called str in my case, and I say the type is of string type, and then I include the assignment here to say that I want to make str as having this content hello, world exclamation mark. Of course, I can print it out by using the printline function, and I can also find the length of a string by using the len function. Okay. And we can also access a character by using an index, and the return value is the Unicode, and the index will start with 0. So str3 means 0, 1, 2, and 3. I will get the second L in the string. So let us see the result of running this part of the program. Yes, I will get hello world, and the length is 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 13 characters excluding the 2 quotation marks at the beginning. And the return value of the str3 here would be the Unicode of the second L shown here. Okay, because 3 means the 4th letter, and the 4th letter is L, and L would have the Unicode of 108. Okay. Now we can also concatenate strings. So concatenation means joining. So I have 3 strings. I can use the assignment here to see that I have he is John, and he and is are ending with a space. Okay. So when I use the @ symbol here, I'm able to do the joining of the strings together, and I can join the 3 strings, and I can also add another string at the end. So I would say that I would add an exclamation mark at the end. So when I print the result string, I will have he is strong exclamation mark. So let us see the result. Yes, we will see he is strong exclamation mark here. Okay, so that is the concatenation. And we can have string slices. What is a string slice? It is just chopping a part of a string. Okay, so when we have a string like this one, we can start with the first index and end just before the second index. So I can indicate the starting index and the index just before the ending place. So 0 to 5 means that I will have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but without 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I will be able to get NICE space as the content of the substring. So let us see the result. Since this space is included, it is not easy to see in the printing result. If I say 6 here, the result will be a bit easier because I will include T as the answer. Yes, you will see T here because when I include 6 here, it means that I would have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as the content printout. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It means that I will include nice, space, and T. Okay. In Go language, we can convert a string to a rune. And what is a rune here? A rune is an alias for integer 32 type. So a rune is used to represent the Unicode points. Okay, it means that I can get the Unicode of a certain character. So suppose I have a string in Chinese character, and when I use the rune keyword here, I'm able to convert the content in the string into Unicode. Okay, so when I print out the rune slice, I'm able to see the Unicode of all the characters in this string. Okay. Yes, you will see a number of Unicode values. Since we have a number of characters, all the characters would show their Unicode value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 characters, including the space here. That's why I will have 9 numbers to show up, which means all the 9 numbers will represent the Unicode of all those characters, okay? And we can iterate over a string to actually obtain the rune value of each character. So the first variable here is the index in the for loop, okay? And the second variable in the for loop is the rune value. So when we have a string like this one, I'm able to show the index followed by the corresponding rune of that character. Let us see the result. Okay, index 0, rune would be just a character called H. Index 1 would refer to lowercase letter e, so on and so forth. So I'm able to print out all the content of the string. Okay, so you can see that I'm able to show all the runes. Okay, so for strings, there are so many methods already built in the Go language. So when I want to really use those string methods, I have to import a strings package to use them. So I have to say here, I have to import strings package when I want to use it. So you can see how I can use it. We have to say strings.contains when I want to see whether a substring is contained in a string already. So the strings package is included at the beginning, and then I can use the contains method coming from this strings package. And I can also count the number of a certain character that appears in a certain string. So I can use the count methods, okay. I want to see how many e's are there, okay. And I can also check whether a certain prefix exists in a given string. Same for the suffix. I can use the hasSuffix function to see whether a certain suffix exists in the given string, okay. So the hasPrefix and the hasSuffix methods are for checking the prefix and the suffix, okay. And we can also find the index of the first occurrence of a certain character. I want to find out the index of the first y in my given string. So I can use strings.index, a string, that is the string that I'm going to use, and y here is the string that I'm going to check for the first occurrence. And of course, I can also check the last occurrence by using the last index method. Okay. And we can turn the string into purely lowercase letters or purely uppercase letters by using the toUpper and toLower methods. Okay. So let us try to run all these methods to see the result. Let us check it one by one. Is the word is really contained in the string? Yes, of course, I can locate the yes string here. And the number of e's in this string is just 0, okay. And today here is not in the prefix because the T here is a lowercase letter rather than an uppercase letter, okay. So we have to notice that the hasPrefix and hasSuffix methods are both case sensitive, okay. So for the suffix here, we see that the sentence has Sunday as the last word, but it is not Monday. That's why I will have false here, okay. And we can find the first occurrence of y. Y is here, which is indicating the index number 4. And the last occurrence of y would be just here, which is having an index of 14, okay. And I can change the string to all lowercase letters here and to all uppercase letters here, okay. So these are the commonly used string methods in Go language. Okay, I can have more ideas of manipulating strings. We can join strings using a given separator. So I have a string slice here and I want to join the string slice content by using this separator, which is a comma followed by a space. So we will see the result later. And we can also make a slice by repeating a given string. So I can say repeat here to make hello appear twice, and I join the two hellos together. Okay. And I can also replace a character with another one for a number of times. So you can see I will say replace here. I have 3 L's in this string, but I can just tell this method to replace the first 2 of the L's to become X. Okay. But this L will not be replaced by the method because this is already the 3rd L. So when I just want to replace the first 2 L's, I'm not able to touch on the 3rd L. Okay. And I can also split a string separated by a separator. So you can see that this is a string and the content is separated by so many commas. And I can locate a separator and I can just separate the content when I see the comma. Okay. So in using the split method, I'm able to do so. So that is the result of running these 4 lines. Okay, you can see that I can have A, B, and C, D, and the comma followed by the space would become the separator. And I can use the repeat method to repeat the string twice. Okay. And I can use the replace method to replace a certain character for a number of times. So you can see the first 2 L's are replaced by X. Okay. But the 3rd L isn't replaced because this is already the 3rd L of the original string. Okay. And I can use the split method to really separate the content by the use of the separator indicated by this comma. So we can see that I have a slice that has 3 separate characters. Okay. And we can actually compare 2 strings by using the dictionary order. So what is a dictionary order? It is just the order of words in the dictionary. So the dictionary would try to go from A to Z, from the shorter word to the longer word. So this is just meaning the ordinary dictionary order. And if the first string is of higher dictionary order, I will have +1. If the first string is of the lower dictionary order, I will have -1 as the return value of the compare method. Okay. And if the first string is the same as the second string, I will have 0 as the answer to the compare method. Okay. So I have 3 strings and I can do the comparison to see whether the first one is equal to the second one or not. So I can try to run the program. So ABC is actually smaller than ABCD because ABC is a shorter word that is placed at the earlier position of the dictionary. So we can see the first string is of the lower dictionary order. So it is placed in the earlier position of the dictionary. So I will have -1 here. On the other hand, if I compare string 5 with string 6, you can see that string 5 is placed in the later position of the dictionary. So I will have +1 as the return value of the compare method. Okay. Because string 5, which is the first argument, is of a higher dictionary order. Okay. And string 4 and string 6 are actually the same. So when I compare them, I will have 0 as the answer. Okay, 0 means that the 2 strings that are going to compare are the same. Okay. We can also convert integer to a string. In doing so, we have to import the str conversion package. So this means string conversion package. And we have a method called I to A that is used here. I means integer, A means the ASCII code or the Unicode in nowadays terminology. So when I want to convert 1, 2, 3 into a string, it is able to do so by using the I to A method coming from the string conversion package. Okay, so I can print it out, and if I want to include this package, I have to say strconv at the beginning of the import statement. Okay. So I will have 1, 2, 3 coming out, and this one has been converted to a string rather than an integer. Okay, that is something we have to remember. 1, 2, 3 here is a string rather than an integer. On the other hand, we can convert a string to an integer, which is the other way around. How can I do so? I have to import the string conversion package first, And if I want to do the conversion from a string to integer, we have to use the comma OK idiom. So this is the comma OK idiom. This ASCII code to integer method called a to I would return two values. One is the value that can be converted and the error message coming from this conversion. So if a string can be really converted to an integer, then the first variable will store the integer and the second variable would save nil as the answer, which means that the error is nil. Nil here means that we don't have any error coming from this conversion. Okay. And the second variable here is err here. If the conversion is really successful, the error will just be nil. And if the error really happens, then it will show the error message. So in the method shown here, we have to really understand the situation that will be returned by the comma OK idiom. So let us check the first case, which is 12W. So we can see that a W here isn't really a digit, so we are not able to do the conversion from a string to an integer. So we will expect that the error will really happen, and it will go to the first branch here to print out the error message. And of course, I'm not able to print out the integer value because the conversion fails, and I'm able to print out the error message. Let us see the result. Yes, we can see that we have the error message coming out. Because we have an invalid syntax, we are not able to do the conversion correctly. And the integer value will just be 0 because I'm not really able to do the conversion. And I can also show the error message again, which is obtained from the comma OK idiom. What about the case if the conversion is really successful? Let us see this example. If I say 1, 2, 3 here, what will happen when I run the code? Let us see. I will be able to print the integer value. So I will go to the else part to say 1, 2, 3, which is an integer. And the integer can be printed out once again. And the error here will be just nil because the conversion is really successful. Okay. So in this situation, the error variable will just be nil. Okay. So this video has discussed a lot of manipulations of strings in Go language. We can find out the length, we can find out the character by using the indices, we can concatenate strings, we can make string slices, we can convert a string to a rune, we can iterate over a string, we have a number of string methods to help us manipulate strings. For example, we can get the index of the first occurrence of a character in a given string, and we can convert all the letters to uppercase or lowercase letters, something like that. And we can also join some strings together, or we can split the strings by recognizing the separator, okay? And we can also compare two strings to see whether one is in the higher dictionary order or not. And we can also do the conversion between an integer and a string. So we can go from the integer to the string, or we can go from the string to the integer. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions about my video, please leave your questions on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.